Again, Friday night, and I'm very happy and excited to have my very special guest, a very gifted, remarkable, crafted film director, Matthew Bonifacio. I'm sorry, I got the Italian cut, man. Was it Matthew? I don't know how to pronounce your name because I know you, but how can I pronounce your name?
You know what? It's a conflict in my family too. We say it two ways: Bonifacio
Bonifacio?
or Bonifacio.
Bonifacio. Sounds better, you think?
I'm not sure.
What do you like?
Depends. Right now I'm going with Bonifacio.
Doesn't get you upset?
Last year was Bonifacio. But it means good face, and some people that are confused will say, hey, good face.
Right, but it doesn't upset you when people get it the wrong way, the right way?
If they say one of the two, it's okay.
It's okay, but if they mix it both?
I'll correct them.
Yeah.
Kindly.
Kindly. That's what I'm talking about. We met last year, but I know your work for quite some time. Michael Aronoff, member of the Actors Studio, an incredible actor, very gifted, remarkable actor, one of the best of his generation, and I know that he's going to become so huge one day. I met you in Tribeca last year.
Yes.
He invited me to see Fortune House, right?
Yes.
And I went to the screening, and I was in the Q&A, and I expressed my admiration and respect and passion for both of you. And I said, my goodness, I'm going to sit down with this guy one day and have an interview. Then I got in touch with Michael. I said, Michael, I want him on the show. Man, I'm sorry I waited this long.
No, it's great to be here.
But I'm so glad you came. Thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about you, your craft.
Yes.
Let's bring it on. Film director. I mean, that doesn't come that easy, Matthew, because you're an actor as well, right? You started with acting.
Yeah, I started as an actor.
And then you made that transition to film directing.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I originally started out as a baseball player, you know.
Yeah.
That was my dream. I wanted to play in Yankee Stadium.
I read about that.
And then, you know, throughout the years, I was a late bloomer, you know, to get into the arts. My father had passed away when I was 17 years old. And, you know, told me life is short. And I got inspired to pursue acting. And I have two brothers and a sister. And one of my brothers got inspired to become a photographer. And eventually he would become a professional photographer for the New York Daily News. And then I started pursuing acting. And then throughout the years of acting, I got really interested in theater. And hooked up with a buddy of mine, Carmine.
Carmine, my God, how can I forget Carmine? The man of the hour, too sweet to be sour.
Yeah.
He's so talented. I'm going to be interviewing him at the end of April.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah.
So you guys met when?
We met on the set of Malcolm X as extras.
Okay, how interesting.
We were in our late teens. And, you know, we just had this chemistry. He was from Queens, and I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
And, you know, we didn't really keep in touch. And a year later, we ran into each other at some audition. And he was actually doing, like, a murder mystery, for dinner theater. And asked me to audition for it, and I got cast. And then we started to create our own one-act plays.
Right.
Where we would write, direct, produce, act,
That's a big
print
challenge.
the tickets, move the set in between a one act.
Do everything, man.
We'd get an investor to rent out the theater, the old Stanford Meisner Theater, off the West Side Highway, and invite our family and friends, and if the public came, the investors made back their money, and we got to play the kind of roles that, you know, that were non-stereotypical.
Yeah. Right. How interesting, because it's not, when I'm thinking about it, I don't know how easy it is to find people that you feel good working with. You know?
Yeah.
It's not that easy. I mean, you get to know a lot of people in the business, but to, you know, those special relationships that, you know, like you and Michael and Carmine, you three together.
Many projects together.
Yes, I know. I remember when the movie Pounds came out, and I went to see it back, I don't know when. God damn it, I forgot.
2010.
2010, yeah. And I went all the way to Tribeca, all the way downtown. I said, okay, I went to see it 3 different times. I bought the movie. And I was like, how incredible. The director, because you're an actor's director. You know what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I'm not the first one to tell you. I mean, you already know your craft, and you've been, you know, in the business long enough. But it takes certain kind of instincts to be able to be that good with actors. Because I see it in your work. I see it in your film. They're very solid. But acting-wise, they seem to be... They come together, you know. It seems like all these actors, they look so real that they look like real people.
Well, that's the hope. You want to try to get realistic performances that feel authentic, that feel real. Right. Whether it's comedy or drama, you know, there's still truth in both.
Right.
And, you know, I want to create an atmosphere for the actors
right.
to reach high levels, to feel comfortable. Because,
right.
you know, we're all sensitive as artists.
Right.
You know, and first you have to create that atmosphere where it's okay to fail and it's okay to succeed.
Right.
And I try to implement that on set.
Right.
And, you know, just live in the moment, really listen and work off each other and answer
Uh-huh.
truthfully. And,
Uh-huh.
you know, you want to say a different line here? Fine. If it feels better for you, try it.
Right.
You know, it's
So you give actors room to improvise. There's a lot of improvisation, well, not much.
depending on the actor.
Depending on the actor.
Someone like
right?
Michael Aronoff, you know, absolutely. If it calls for it, you
Yes.
know, he's a terrific improver.
Sure.
And then sometimes you need to stick to the text.
Right.
And stick to the
Whatever
the
helps
scene.
at the moment,
Yeah,
right?
but, you know, if it's something that I wrote, it's not about me.
Right.
If
You don't get too personal. You don't get a little
I'm
kind
not
of
going
funny.
to say, those are my words.
Don't touch him.
Yeah. You know, you have to say exactly the way I wrote it. If you're struggling with a line or a word and you have
Right.
something better, let me hear it. Let's try it.
Let's bring it on.
Yeah, because it's about the subtext and it's about what the scene is about.
Right, and like Berman said, because I love my directors, but he says that it's interesting on stage and on film what matters, and that sounds distracting. Whoever's out there, but that's okay. That happens. When we go on live, that's what I have to go through. But it's good. It's a good acting exercise. Okay. Berman says that actors we have to be able to bring mystery to what we do, whether you're on stage or film. There's a sense of like the unpredictability
Absolutely.
taking place. And as a director, obviously you have to find that exquisite behavior. And of course you gotta match the actions with the story, with the storyline, and keep the conflict going on and keep the needs going on. It seems like everything is pretty much, what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm thinking. Everything is pretty, you have a pretty good balance of all those elements. When I saw Pounds, I felt the same way. When I saw Fortune House, and then when I saw Migraine, you sent me the link. I said, you have all those elements together. How do you find that balance? I mean, how does it work, Matthew? Because directing films is not an easy task.
Yeah, I mean, it's a major challenge. Just like an actor, they prepare for a role and they try to live and breathe it, you know, before they go to set.
Right.
And even after they go to set, sometimes they take it home with them.
Right.
And as a director, I try to live and breathe it too as a former actor, but also as a storyteller. And, you know, I just want to make sure it's all functioning and working.
Right.
And I try to practice the art of being spontaneous within every moment. Like you were saying before, and acting is behavior.
It is.
And, you know, the physical body communicates a lot.
Right.
Especially on film. It's moving pictures. And, you know, we all watch movies, right?
Yeah.
And in that one scene, there's a huge monologue happening. Right? And it's powerful and we're into it. But then the editor cuts to the other actor listening. And that's where we start to cry and feel real emotion.
Right.
So it's moving pictures, these moving images. So you always have to be 100%. Whether you're saying a line, whether you're not saying a line.
Yeah.
And my job as a director to just make sure you're never going to get one take perfectly. And you may, you know.
Do you like to do a lot of takes?
It all depends, yeah.
Let's say,
you know, it depends on how much
depends.
time we have.
Right.
But I'm not the director that says you have 2 takes or 3
that's
takes.
it. Keep
You
it
know,
short,
I may be the director like we only have this location for 2 more hours.
Right.
So let's really explore and let's start shooting even the rehearsal.
Right.
And I promise you, I'll protect you. I won't use it if it doesn't come out good, but we may get, you know, capture magic in a bottle.
Right. I love rehearsals. I
so-
like because sometimes actors they bring their best
Absolutely.
right before the cameras are rolling.
And some actors, the first couple of takes are their most truthful moments.
Right.
And then some actors need
The
to
worst. They need to get 10, 20.
Right. So as a director too,
Right.
if I'm working with you, Michael Aronoff, you know, I need to know who's going to go first when I go for the close-up.
Right.
You know, If he gets it sooner, that's fine. We'll just start with him and you're getting warmed up. And then we flip the camera around and get you.
Pretty cool. Now, in terms of camera shots, how does it work for you? Do you have your picture in your head? Do you like to keep journals, diaries of the work? Because I know that you're writing, but in terms of like what we're gonna see as an audience, does it come out when you're there on the set, or it happens before a little bit?
It's a combination.
It's a combination.
Because I feel now, you know, with my experience, I could improvise as a director, and not in terms of being unprepared, but like when we go to the actual location, sometimes you don't have the luxury to see it or to really frame up and do a real true scout.
Right.
So something might change that day, or the actor. You know, maybe I visualize the actor standing during the scene, and it looks awkward, and maybe they're sitting. So now I have to redesign some of the shots to suit my actor.
It's very interesting because you pretty much have to adapt pretty quick.
Yeah, but in terms of like being influenced or watching other movies or being inspired by art or reading a short story, of course I do all that prep work to fuel me, to
Right.
make sure I'm ready and I'm bringing in 400% ready to go and
Yeah.
be prepared for anything, because anything could go wrong.
Anything,
And it does.
And it does, yeah. As we know, a lot of things can go wrong before they go right.
Exactly, and that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's
all
part of the
good.
learning process. It's part of the whole. This is so good. I like you see because you're so. What I feel about you is that you're very present. You're a good listener, but you're so attentive. You know, it's like this. I don't know. Makes this work.
Yeah,
my job.
Paying attention to detail.
Paying attention to
I think
detail.
is key. You know, and to someone else they might be like, don't worry about that, or the audience would never see that. But if that one audience member notices that moment that was false, or you know, whatever it may be, you know, that's a problem for me.
That's a problem.
So I want to really perfect it as much as possible.
You're a perfectionist. Are you obsessed with your work?
I am. I guess I am obsessed with the work in a good way. Like,
a good way.
You know, when your projects are well received.
Right.
And you feel good about it.
And pressure is on.
Yeah, you know, it's rewarding. Okay. And then for the other projects that need more work or crafting, you know, you're just gonna do better. It's a learning experience. I'm a sponge. I want to like keep on improving with every single project I make forever.
Right, but you seem to be very, I don't know, you got it pretty much going on. Gloria Messer and Dean Lauren, Arthur English, I'm directing to you guys in the control room. Whenever you're ready, I would like to show the first clip, Migraine, if it's ready. And when it comes out, I'll be happy and delighted to see it. If it doesn't come out, we just keep talking. There's no stress, there's no hard feelings, no grudges to it.
12-step meeting?
Huh? What's that? I think he said the 12-step group, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sweetheart. It's the 12-step group. Please, come, join us. Looks like he wants to join us. Come on, then. Would you like a donut? We have jelly.
Not KY.
That's just a joke. Have a seat. "80% of success is showing up." So, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why I started taking pills.
Hi, my name is Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, guys. And I am addicted to cocaine.
But he had been using. You know that look on the face when someone has hit bottom?
I still fucking hate saying that. I still fucking hate saying I'm a drug addict.
Offers me my first hit of cocaine at 11 years old.
I tried on some of her dresses, and then I tried on the shoes, and I thought, wow.
This kid in my dorm, Mitchell, he asked me if I want to go to a gay club. And so I had never been, so I said, sure.
I like the way the pills sound in the bottle when they jangle around.
As far as no one loving you, God loves you. God loves all of us for whatever we do all the time.
And I started taking these pills. I was always against drugs. And as I was taking them, I thought I was just taking like a vitamin. But then 6 months later, I realized that I needed them to function. I thought he was gonna kiss me, but he didn't. He took out a key and put it under my nose, and he told me to inhale, and I did.
But I could not wait to grow up and have a purse of my own, full of happy.
Addiction isn't the disease. Loneliness is.
6年前に処方箋の痛み止めを使い始めて、そのままやめることができなく
We
なり
don't
まし
have
た。
any faggots in our family, and we're not going to have any faggots. So, their way of dealing with it was As my father said, well, I'll beat it out of him to make him into a real man.
And he looked at me and he said, how can you say that? You've never walked in my